Hello students, I, Shalini Sharma, welcome you all in Shalini English classes. Hope you all are doing well and understanding the concepts of English through my YouTube channel. Today I am going to explain the remaining part of the last lesson of your Flamingo textbook. I hope that you must have understood the last lesson part 1 through my video. Before I initiate my topic, I would like to request all of you to please like, share and subscribe my channel. The reason for this is that you will be getting notifications for my new videos automatically. So don't forget students, like, share and subscribe my channel. Now let's start with the remaining part of the lesson. In my last video, I concluded at the point where all the old men of the village were sitting in the classroom at back benches. Why they were sitting? Actually, they had come there to show gratitude and respect for the 40 years of faithful service Hamel had put in. Then finally the class started, and at that time Franz failed to recite the participles, much to his shame, and had a feeling of guilt. But strangely, Hamel did not scold him. He blamed men's habit of postponing things, feeling that there was plenty of time to do them later. He blamed parents who were not anxious for their children to learn but preferred to make them work in farms or mills. He did not spare himself even. He was also guilty of sending children to do errands for him. What kind of errands? Like whenever he did not want to teach students, he used to tell them to water the flowers in the garden. And whenever he wanted to go for fishing, he used to give them holiday. So in this way, he blamed himself also. Then Hamel talked at length about the French language. He considered French to be the most beautiful language in the world. It was the clearest and the most logical language too. He urged his students to guard it among themselves and reminded them never to forget it. Somewhere here we can understand the concept of linguistic chauvinism. It refers to an unreasonable pride in one's own language while disregarding other languages and considering it to be inferior. We can analyze the order from Berlin in this light. It is nothing but a pure example of linguistic chauvinism. The imposition of German language over the French-speaking population can't be justified at all. That's why Hamel conveyed all the students never to forget their language. He even made them realize the irony of not being able to speak or write their own language. Then the French grammar lesson started. He delivered his best lesson that time. He explained everything with patience. After grammar, lesson in writing followed. He gave new copies to the students with Franz Alsace written in a beautiful handwriting on them. The teacher seemed to give his students all he knew before going away. He wanted to give his best. Even students paid exceptional attention to Hamel. No sound could distract them. Beetles flying in, pigeons cooing on the roof. And that time, Franz got a thought. And that was, will they make even pigeons sing in German? Now this statement somewhere emphasizes that men can never overpower nature. Here you will get to know that the time to say goodbye was coming near for Hamel. He was staring at all the things in the classroom. Nothing had changed in the last 40 years except the desks and benches had worn out, the walnut trees had grown taller, and the hope vine he had planted twined about the windows to the roof. He heard every lesson to the last, and everyone became emotional, especially old Hauser, who was crying unashamedly. Really, it was a memorable last lesson. And finally, the church clock struck 12. On hearing the sound of trumpets of the Prussian soldiers under his window, patriotic feelings overpowered Hamel. He mounted the chair and tried to speak. However, something choked him. He wrote "Vive la France" with a piece of chalk on the blackboard. Now what does this "Vive la France" mean? It means "Long live France." He wrote this to show his love and concern for the people and the language of his country. He wrote it and then dismissed the class by making a gesture with his hand. The French lesson was over. The last lesson was over. Somewhere from this lesson, we all got the message that we should never take anything for granted. We should always respect our language and our country. And somewhere this lesson also brings home the message that war not only affects soldiers or policymakers, it also changes understanding of our own intrinsic values. So that was the explanation of remaining part of the last lesson. I hope you must have understood the concept. Here I am sharing with you a list of expressions and vocabulary used in the lesson. I hope that you will acquaint yourself with these expressions and vocabulary so that you can understand the lesson more clearly. Now this is the assignment which you have to do in your fair notebooks. The same is attached in the description box of the video. Don't forget to do it in legible handwriting in your notebooks. So that's it from my side for this video. Hope you must have understood the remaining part of the last lesson as well. Once again, a reminder, don't forget to like and subscribe Shalini English classes. Thank you students. Have a great day ahead.